Hey!
Hello.
Hello, everybody. It's Sam.
And Tom.
We don't understand pointing, but we're here to do a quick Q&A. Oh, wow. Questions coming in already. Thank you so much. Basically, we yesterday, our latest long form, sorry about my nan, which I keep calling sorry about your nan, but our latest long form went out, and thank you guys very much for watching it. And we said if we hit a certain target, we would, as we now do a Q&A. And here we are, and we've got questions coming in already, which I love. Sam, do you remember this long form?
As a sort of fever dream. Yeah. It was a very strange, weird one. I think the bit I remember, which is a line from it, which is like, this feels like an A24 film, which then it kept doubling down on that. I was just like, yeah, was it being in it? Like, no idea where it was going. Wasn't enjoying the journey, but I'm here now. It's terrifying.
You weren't enjoying the journey?
The character was, I was so
Oh.
in the character. I was just having like, oh God, this is awful. My best friend's
We
going
had
to
a
try and kill
terrible
me.
time for a while, but it was good for the friendship in the end. It was good. But yeah, you saying actually that it was like an A24 film was really helpful because we're like, okay, now we get the vibe. Okay, first question. What on earth were Tom, Luke, and AJ on, and why didn't you give any of it to Sam? I mean, that feels pertinent to... I genuinely, the first... Until Sam said, this is like an A24 film, I think we were all going, what is happening? So Sam actually brought us into some kind of understanding of what was going to happen. Sam was the dealer in this instance. We were the takers.
I think basically, if you're doing that sort of, if you, all four of us are just as weird and mad as each other, then it can go slightly too much. You need someone to be the straight man and to be like, no, this is very weird what's going on. Otherwise, it's just, the weirdness doesn't really get highlighted, and the audience feels kind of, I don't know, probably detached from it. So I think I was playing the audience role in the actual show of being like, oh, this is very weird, isn't it? This why are we trying to kill each other?
It's a tough balance because you want to like engage with it whilst also being human enough to go, this is strange. And we were naming some sort of other fantasy stories, and some of them overbalance and some of them get it just right. And this was really on the edge. Second question. My question is, Tom, how did you think of character Ethel? I remember going, is it better to not have Ethel come on and just let her be like, oh, what is it? Like the wife from Frasier or the mum from Big Bang Theory, just like she's so horrible, but you can't ever see her. And then I was like, well, it might also feel like we've wimped out if we never show this woman.
Well, I was watching it back, like in that first scene, I was like, we're building up this granny so much, this Nana, that it's going to be whatever the audience or our imaginations of us are, I'm not going to be able to match up. And then Tom went, hold my, I don't know, drugs, and came on and just made it actually way more terrifying and horrific than we were even imagining.
I actually made a conscious choice because I've played fun weirdos before. I was like, I don't want to be a fun weirdo here. I want to actually be disturbing because they haven't been like, whoa, she's crazy, bro. They've been like, she's horrifying. And so I actively tried to be a little more unsettling than some of the more fun monsters I've played other times.
I actually thought before you came on that we were going to do it's one of my favorite ever plays. It's called Waiting for Godot.
Oh, yes.
Two guys who are waiting for this guy called Godot to come and sort of take them to an important place. I thought we might just be stuck in that cabin, just sort of talking about Ethel until the end of the long form. But I'm very glad it was where it was. Otherwise, Waiting for Godot is a very well written play with very tight dialogue, which therefore they can kind of make just staying on a bench work for an entirety of a play. Whereas doing that with improvised dialogue is a lot harder. And I'm glad we went where we did.
Yeah. Thank you, Kelsey. And also thank you to a mysterious ghost. Says they're also always down for Joy. Joy being our current target. We've got another little fundraiser going. We've actually just bought some more camera equipment. I bought a thing called a Manfrotto yesterday, which is a hilarious thing to buy. But it's a little stand for an audio recorder. We've bought another audio recorder to capture the sound of audience laughing so that we can more clearly get that in the videos.
Yes.
Which feels arrogant, but it's really nice to be able to do these kind of upgrades, and that's all down to you. So thank you so much.
Very big thank you.
Everyone being very generous. You guys are. Why was Nana called Ethel? Oh, who called Nana Ethel?
I think it was me. I think it was at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think I
you went this one, and Ethel.
Ethel, yeah. I think I probably went with Ethel because that is the name of the hag in Baldur's Gate 3. And so I was picturing that because we didn't know if what was going to come on. I just pictured this horrific hag-like monster, and that's why I went there.
Auntie Ethel, yes, that was it. I remember killing Auntie Ethel. She earned it.
I think that's where. And then Ethel turned out to be even more horrifying than the hag from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, and yet she survived. Working on my shoot from it cross stitch whilst watching this. Thank you. Will we get stag merch? Now that's an interesting idea. Should we do some stag merch? We've got a couple that are in the pipeline that are on their way. But yeah, maybe we should.
Just straight up stag, like instead of change.
Yeah, do it in the same font, maybe. That could be fun. Goodbye, Jasper. Thank you for being here, Jasper. Nice to see you. You've got a tech run today. Do you know where Bergheim exists or where it's located? And would you do, that's 2 questions, do a translator game as Yoshi? So Bergheim, I'm just going for Germany. Sam, would you do a translator game as Yoshi? I
think doing the whole language, because for Yoshi, I think it's like a Pokemon, only says his name.
Yeah.
I think that might get a little bit grating after a while.
Yoshi. Yeah, you get sick of it quickly.
I think you could maybe just about do one as Pikachu, because then you got the Pika-P.
Okay. So it's one level harder. And I think everyone knows Pikachu better.
Yeah.
So that probably helps as well. Okay. So probably not. We probably wouldn't. That's our true, honest answer.
Yeah.
Did Luke enjoy his little nap on the stage? And did you enjoy sitting on him, Tom? He was quite cushioned, although I didn't put my full weight on him because I thought that would be unfair. But yeah, he was a soft seat. I think he enjoyed. It's really weird. Do you find this, Sam, when you've died on stage, but in a good way, then you're just lying there on your back listening to the others be funny around you, and it's really odd.
I quite like it because usually if I've died on stage and I'm staying on, there's a lot of times we die and then we sort of run off.
Yeah.
Whereas if you die on stage and you stay there, it's probably because it's quite a good death. It was probably quite funny, quite dramatic, and then you just become like a little prop that can or not be used throughout the rest of the scene. Yeah. And also, it's quite nice to lie down for a bit. But I'm old and tired.
Sam, new father, has realised that lying down is nice.
Lying down's great.
When did you become aware of how good naps were and are?
I think, certainly in the last 2 months with having a baby, naps. I literally woke up from a nap at 6:15 to get ready for this live stream at 6:30. My baby was down with their grandmother for a few hours, and we both just said, let's do all the tidying we can do. Well, when we don't have a baby here, and then go to sleep for as long as we can, and we did.
That sounds lovely. Lovely little nap. It's usually 1 to 2. This is from Eddie. Usually 1 to. Sorry. Firstly, lovely profile picture. Great show. It's usually 1 to 2 of you that play the main parts and others supporting. Do you remember who was the leading man before? Or as in to try and like cycle it? I don't think so. Right. I realized recently that Luke, out of a mix of like politeness and also sometimes not jumping to the fore, doesn't get to be the lead as often as he should. He's got a fantastic sort of narrative spirit, and he might be the best actor. He might just be. So it's interesting. There's one coming up where Sam is the lead, that will be releasing soon. And who is the lead of this one, would you say?
AJ, I'd say.
You think, actually, I suppose everything's circling around him.
Yeah. You never think about who was the lead in the last show and change it based on that. It's always very organic.
there are a couple of times where I thought I've jumped to the fore a lot recently, so I will try and be a good supportive person back here for a show or two. But it's sometimes you just find yourself sort of suddenly accidentally even at the front. Like actually yesterday, I thought my character was going to be not seen. We did a show yesterday. I thought they weren't going to be seen after the first scene. And then they were brought back in the second scene. I was like, I'm fronting this. And yeah, sometimes it happens accidentally. Sometimes you find you're playing the title character. But yeah, very rare that you sort of that we do anything on purpose about it.
What a crazy unhinged long form that was. I greatly enjoyed it. Sam, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confused were you? I think I wasn't confused. I only got confused up until the point where we said, "Oh, it's an A24 film," and then I think we were all like, "Okay, we kind of get it. It's going to get very weird. It's going to get quite dark. There's going to be," and we sort of knew what tropes we were hitting as soon as we did that.
And there's going to be a deep human journey, I think, as well. That's part.
A lot of the time when we appear confused on stage, it's because our character is confused on stage. Unlike yesterday during a long form, where I was definitely confused from the very beginning to the very end of it. I had no idea what was going on and just rolled with it. But this one wasn't too confused. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I was a good 5 out of 10. I was half confused.
Okay. I think that's a nice place to be every so often.
Yeah.
This person's nailed it. Maybe Casey. I'm going with Casey. Tom, did you have an existing character in mind for a creepy fella? Reminded me of MC mixed with a toy maker. Exactly that. Also, the toy maker is definitely based off like that interpretation of him that Neil Patrick Harris did recently. Is so based off the MC. Also has the same German accent. But yeah, those two, exactly that. You nailed it. Congratulations.
Ooh, so sticker. I actually have a question.
Yeah.
And this might be something I was confused about. In your head, was the MC Ethel doing a voice and being a weirdo and playing this other part character of herself, or was that a completely different human being?
It's a completely different human being, or maybe not human. I actually saw it as we left. So I say something quite dark when Luke comes back together and sits in the chair.
Yeah.
Which is, did you enjoy tonight's show? No, me neither. With this idea of like these two beings are kind of a lot like Cain and Abel, maybe from the Sandman, of doing this over and over and over and over of Luke's character dies. Mine had to put on a show every night and come back, which actually also, I'm going to feel really bad. I saw a fringe show, a one-man fringe show where it was this college kid who goes basically mad and kills his rival, and he's recounting that in hell. I think it's called Live from Hell for one night only or something along those lines. Anyway, and that they're repeating this show every single night is their hell and explaining how they did this murder. And so I think a bit of all of that kind of thing. But yeah, different characters. Some parts of the long form got emotional. A bit AJ said springs to mind. There are certain shows, I won't name any, but there are certain ones where I think we can lean too far one way or the other. I think the perfect ones are 85% comedy.
Yeah.
Maybe 90. And then the little dashes of emotion. We do improvised comedy. So you don't want to do just 100% drama, because then you'll be up yourselves. As we like
selling a very weird product for people who book tickets to see a comedy show.
And equally, if you're just doing jokes, you can kind of not have a core. So we actually have one which we did at Leicester Square Theatre, which we discussed for quite a while over whether we put it out or not, which was, there were good jokes, but there was no real sort of plot or emotion. So it was all just sort of, that's funny, and then nothing deeper.
I'd also say compared to like a scripted play, because the nature of improvised comedy, even if you're playing it emotional and as truthful as possible, it usually ends up being quite funny anyway, because you are still surprised by the lines and where things go. And you know, one of my favorite things to watch are these sort of D&D long form episodes where like 3 episodes long, and most of it's just a laugh, but then there'll be one point going, I'm crying watching these people make up this story about these characters.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think definitely having a good mix is lovely. And the art form lends itself to comedy much easier, I think, than emotion. And so then when the emotional bits do hit and they hit strongly, I think that's really fun. And like there's some examples of ours, like Bubba and Jeremiah, parts of the leftmost window are emotional as well, which I think it's nice. It just makes it more rich and more deep.
Yeah, I agree 100%. No, Luke didn't tell us about Bergheim, and also it wasn't based on real experiences.
I'm so glad it wasn't based on real experiences. But the nicest thing about all of these sort of shows is like you can sometimes see the nugget of, oh, that's when it all changed. And it was who brings their nan on a stag do?
Yeah.
So if you look at the first 30 seconds to a minute of that opening scene with me and AJ, we don't something's happened, obviously. Like we don't know if it was a funeral. We didn't know, because it was like, obviously it was about your nan. We didn't know what was it going on. We didn't know our relationship to each other, but like, who brings their nan on a stag do? It's like, okay, there we go. We have our platform and somewhere to run with, which was fun.
Oh, thank you for this lovely comment, Han.
Thank you.
That's really nice. And also, Kelsey has apologized. I don't remember being interrupted during the intro. No problem at all. You're all good.
Fine. All good.
One again, yeah, nailed it. Would you ever play MC from Cabaret? I don't think I could do it as well. I couldn't do the singing for one thing nearly as well as it is currently done, but it looks great fun. And again, it has that comedy and the over the topness with like a little, more than a little nugget of, oh God, pain towards the end, which I love. The meta jokes with letter of complaint. See, I like meta, but like a little bit, don't want to overdo it. And I think that Sam and AJ nailed it because I did throw them a big fastball of, okay, now you're going to do a letter of complaint, but you also need to make it emotional and about the story. Good luck. And they nailed it. So I think them having nailed it straight off, I was very happy with what they've done.
That was a very good example of something in improv which is called pimping, where you basically throw your other improviser a challenge. And good pimping is one where if they do it well, it's going to be great. And if they fail dramatically, it's still going to be funny. Which I also apparently learned this week that pimping is used in the American medical world for when they basically challenge medical students about like a particular piece of knowledge in front of the whole group to try and get them to mess up and go, you didn't do your research properly. You'll never forget this again, will you? And that's another way pimping is used.
Wow. Okay. See, we're learning. This is an educational art form. Hi, boys. Love this long form so much. And thank you to those other comments we just saw there. What goes through your minds when a play kicks off with that much tension? The wait for what Nana did was mwah. I think it's a slow build, right? I mean, Sam, you were on stage, so you probably felt it a lot more.
Yeah, I think when I came on, I was going to be like, we all have like the things that we try and work on when we're doing improvising, like the things that are crutches. And I often have a one of defining things quickly and going, right, here's what we're doing. And there's a few shows recently where I've been like, I want to hold back and let whoever I'm playing with define it sooner, which sometimes then leads to like this building up of tension, which it does need to be popped eventually of like, we need to say what this thing is.
Ideally, what you do is like a little bit and a little bit more, a little bit, and boom. But yeah, what can happen is just nothing gets said, and you just kind of go around in circles waiting for the other one. But I thought you both did very well in this one. The moment where AJ pops up and goes, and then you say something, he goes, yeah, and just falls back down. Is one of my favorite interactions between you guys. It's lovely and very well acted.
The catering was good.
Yeah, that was it. Fantastic. Early on in your career, did you ever have a feeling moment when you thought we're done? I think just before COVID, we were going, okay, our regular venues want to focus on stand-up. Luke is looking at moving to Spain. So I think then we were probably going, I guess we're going to do other things now.
I think also post-COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like it carried on. But yeah, you're right, because during COVID, we did live streams once or twice a week. So it was back on then. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tom's got a famous photo of me when we shared a flat together having a mental breakdown in. I think I'm sitting in his bed, or maybe my bed.
You're in my bed, yeah.
Yeah, thinking like, this is all over. We've lost this thing, and it's going to be done
Sam
now.
had an argument with a venue owner who I will not name, but Sam was right.
Tom, why are some of these amazing super chat comments, which thank you very much for doing these, different colors?
I don't know.
Okay.
I love that, but I don't know why they're different colors. I just don't know.
If you could choose any of your other characters to cameo in this long form, which would you choose?
So let's choose for each other. I think for you, what's her name? Mother Maggie. I was going to say
Old Lady Marjorie.
Mother Maggie is a prototype of Old Lady Marjorie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely would be. I think Old Lady Marjorie or Mother Maggie are definitely part of Ethel's hag coven. I think they probably all hang out with each other.
And it's just you being two of them, and then but I would insist on you in a hologram. Like you couldn't just be you multi-rolling. You need to go all in.
I think within that weird, strange world, I mean, like you could definitely have had locomotion bring them from the different parts instead of going through the tunnel, just having him be the creepy conductor who brings the groom to his next emotional challenge that he has to meet.
That's really fun. Oh, I love it. The next one. Now I'm gonna need to head off in about 8 minutes because I need to slip up from work. So did you mean to release this long form on April the 1st? It just happened to.
It didn't come out on April the 1st.
Wait, if you didn't, who noticed? We didn't. I'm confused.
Came out yesterday. It's not April the 1st. Came out on April the 27th.
You tricked me. I completely was going with that for a minute. We didn't. You tricksy. Yeah. What inspired the cabaret section? Once again, MC stuff. But I think also because Luke had just been chopped in half, I was like, this could either be really dark now, or it can get more theatrical to stop it being like either, oh my God, they just killed someone, and then that's kind of the whole focus, when actually it's more fun to focus on their friendship. Or I can come in and be like, oh, it's all theatre, darling, and let it focus more on. So that was the narrative reason. Absolutely love this play. Don't have a question. Just want to say thank you and greetings from Austria. Thank you, Luke Mamming official. Fantastic. From Stag Do to Cult and Meta Beyond. Do you have any idea where this was going? And thank you for giving Jay the badge last night.
You're most welcome. It's now pinned on our diaper bag. So whenever we're going anywhere, we've got it on the back of our diaper bag, and she likes it very much.
I think that's a good thing.
She loves that pin. She just says from there, she's feeding our baby.
Oh, how do you make a character actually really terrifying? So actually, the thing I did here, as I say, was actively try not to sort of, because there's a kind of rhythm to the comedy that keeps it light. So like leaving overly long pauses and just staring, etc. I thought would be more unnerving, and I think I was right. So I'm pleased.
I think also like with most horror characters, as soon as they show their whole hand, they become a lot less scary. It's when you don't really know what they like. As soon as you know, like, oh, they're a demon who goes, you're like, okay, that's fine. But when it's just something that's a bit uncanny valley, and you don't know how unhinged they are going to be, and particularly when it's someone like your Nana, like they're meant to be nice and lovely. Yeah. And so if it's just a little bit like, oh, maybe they are just a fun party animal. Maybe they just had a crazy experience in Germany and she's actually going to turn out to be loving, but she keeps doing these slightly unhinged things. Again, very A24. I love you guys, and my friends and I want to do improv show, and our guides inspired by you. What would you recommend doing to actually be comedic? I think with improv, you don't actually try to be comedic. You do just play the scene that you're given, and it will, because it is improvised, end up being funny. Like that, we've done a few shows with some guests before who are actively trying to be funny, and it usually ends up it's very hard to play with. I mean, I suppose the only thing is like if you're trying to be funny and being comedic, I think the best way of doing that in improv is not trying to make the audience laugh, but trying to make the person you're playing with laugh.
Yeah,
because if they're having fun, then you're building something together. Whereas it's very easy to undermine the person you're playing with for a laugh from the audience, but then you've really got nowhere to go. Like I could have very easily have gone, all right, Ethel, calm down, dear. Here, take your pills, and made her go to sleep, which would have got a quick laugh from the audience, but then we would have lost Ethel. So it's trying to make the person you're playing with laugh more than the audience, I think, if you're trying to be comedic.
Now, I'm going to suggest we quick fire a few of these, because also my laptop apparently has 6 minutes left.
Okay.
And
how many minutes do you have left?
I've got like 3 or 4, so I'm going to quick fire a few.
Working out perfectly.
Do you try to remember your ideas for next bit, or just let be? There'll be like, oh, we could go here or could go here in the back of the mind, and then maybe you'll deploy one, or maybe you'll drop it all entirely. I would say.
I think if you can bring something back that was left in a bit beforehand as like another narrative bit, that's usually quite satisfying, but doesn't need to happen.
Is it easier to keep building the energy of scenes, or do you find it easier when it's introduced? Wow. I think it's actually easier to start out in a more normal place. And so it's a harder mode to start in a weird place. Yeah. I mean, straight to the next. Where are Luke and AJ? Which is, we usually do like 2 people for these, because otherwise we'll talk over each other, and also we would be here all night, which is kind of fun, but would also kill us. Tom, I feel like you enjoy playing with Crazy Old Lady. Do you? Will you please tour in the US? We would love to. We've actually asked our agent. We will update you if we manage it. I do enjoy it. Sam and I both have some Crazy Old Ladies in our stable. It is fun just getting to be a problem for the gang, isn't it?
It's very good fun.
And
hey, Tom and Sam. Tom, what was your intention at the end when you told AJ to make the decision? Did you want him to cancel the wedding or proceed with it?
Interestingly, I actually wanted him to cancel it because I hadn't heard Luke say thank you for forgiving me. Or maybe it was the other way around, but I hadn't heard Luke say that at all. So it's really good that I didn't interrupt, because I think that was him saying that was a big point of, okay, now his can go ahead. And if he hadn't said that, it would have felt awkward for it to carry on. So luckily, it's a very popular nightclub. I think that is what he was talking about.
Yeah, Luke did tell me that's what he was referring to.
Okay, boom.
Tom, what made you decide Sam and AJ should play letters during the long form? Did it turn out the way you've hoped? Sort of talked about this.
Yeah, well, just to keep it theatrical, and also it's always nice to throw out something different that we haven't had a show before. And so I thought having a meta improv show inside this one, fun.
Yeah, Tom Holland. That's why the character was called Ethel. It was a Baldur's Gate 3 reference.
We're going through questions from before we answered them, but thank you very much for asking. How do you come up with the cabaret bit? They've all got the same questions. I respect that. Yeah, it was doing that over the top silliness to keep things light. Oh wow, thank you, Dodo. That is very, very generous. I've got to see the sticker afterwards. We can't actually see the stickers.
Yeah, not here. I've got so many super stickers.
I love the friendship as well. It was really well earned. Like, I really like that it took a while and was tough to confuse. I was trying to deliver. I was delivering on the promise of Ethel. That was the plan.
How much did Luke sitting on his mic cost? More than you know.
Emotionally, a lot. Luckily, we haven't broken any mic equipment yet because, oh boy, it's pricey.
It's very pricey.
When you realize someone hasn't... now, we've said about this one before. I think we should get Luke leading more because when he does, he's amazing.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler. That is very, very kind. Look, how do you guys decide on what audience suggestion? I think well, Sam, you go. I've been talking a lot.
When it comes to the title of a show, I think it's something that isn't too niche or too sort of, I don't know. It's anything that's a bit more open-ended is usually something that we'd rather take for a title. So if it's something that's very much like, why did you decide my Xbox controller wasn't the right one for you? It'd be like, okay, that's a bit.
Equally, if it's too open, it's just like, oh, what are you doing here? It's nice when it's something like the wind whistled through the trees.
Yeah, something that implies a slight genre. Usually, we always get quite excited about for like Death for $1. It's like could be Western, could be a New York American gangster sort of thing. Anything that implies a slight genre, really fun.
Yeah, and that suggests a location as well, so it gives us lots of things to inspire us. Just realised that in the first show, Tom called me creepy. If I called you creepy, that means I don't actually think you're creepy. Because if I really thought it, I wouldn't have said it. So don't you worry. Different colours are
Oh,
basically. Thank
very
you.
nice.
Yes, we have been on Weird Stage. We did a show on a boat recently where the ceiling was too low, so I had to stand like this the whole show.
We also did a show at a very, very weird corporate event for incredibly rich people, which was sort of like like a festival, but a festival designed by a James Bond villain.
Yes. Oh, that was weird. We had a non-disclosure thing, but we followed Sandy Toksvig. No, she followed us. She was so much better than us.
Yeah.
So good. Anyway,
who do you think have played a couple together in your long form most often? I think it's. I think me and AJ very rarely play a couple, or like a romantic couple. Anyway, the only thing I can really remember is the Hare Who Wore a Sweater, which was great. So maybe we should do it again.
Wow, yeah.
Me and Luke used to be the go-to couple, but I think Tom and Luke may have pushed over the edge.
He might have, yeah. Well, he's just got that beautiful hair,
and he plays a very good woman.
It's good hair. Love you guys. Wish I could donate more. You deserve it. Thank you very much. That is very kind of you. Everyone, by the way, you've been very kind. Thank you so much. We have actually hit the target, so I'm feeling joy.
Wonderful. Tom, do you have to go pick up your wife?
I do. I'm just going to do 4 more.
Okay.
I'm coming to see you guys on the 26th of July. Awesome. What's some advice about 2A levels? What's some advice for students? I mean, if I often find with shows, if I feel completely calm, those are the less good shows. The fact that you're tense shows that you care about it, shows that you've put time in, shows that you're going to do well. You're going to nail it. So don't worry, Ruby. You're smashing it. You're smashing it. Who is your favorite character? Oh, that's really tough. Like there's different genres of character, right?
Favorite character you've ever played in a long form?
I did enjoy being Snake Hips.
You did like Snake Hips a lot.
I really like playing Locomotion. I like that you were genuinely a bit scared of Locomotion for a minute.
Locomotion was terrifying. I like the Evil Make-A-Wish kid. Was really fun, and in all these scenes you had a good time.
I enjoyed playing the policeman opposite you. That was a fun rivalry.
The Boy Witch was good.
Yes,
Old Lady Marjorie.
I love playing that villain as well, the Witchfinder.
Have you ever gone too far and had to apologize something after a show? Yes.
Yes, we have. There are times when should we even actually we're going to maybe do at some point a shoot from hip disciplinary meeting, so I think we should bring them out then. But yes, I think it's important to separate the character and the playfulness on stage from the fact that we really do respect each other and like each other. And sometimes you have to be very clear, like, I was saying it in character, but apologies if I went too far. What did Ethel do on Julie Lucy's hen party? Well, I guess you're going to have to wait for a sequel.
God.
Oh, yes, Sam. It comes again. It comes again, which is a horrible tagline.
It comes again. That's a good tagline for a horror sequel.
Yeah, but it sounds like the porn parody. Anyway, this has been lovely. It's been really nice to see you, Sam.
It's amazing that there are 1,457 people watching this.
Wow. Yeah, thank you all for being here. So if you're wondering, we do every long form we put out, we have a target on there. If we hit the target, we do a little Q&A on that long form, which helps us get better camera equipment and more camera angles per show. We were able to yesterday's show with 3 angles or 4 angles. I can't remember.
And an extra sound recorder.
And an extra sound recorder, which is all down to your generosity, and means that, we can keep making this better, get better audio equipment and camera and blah, 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 blah. So thank you so much. We will hopefully see you for the next Q&A on the next long form, which is being edited as we speak.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it might be the top secret one. I don't know.
Ooh.
As in filmed at top secret, which I think is a really fun one, but we won't say anything more now.
Well, stag. And thank you so much for joining us, guys. We love doing these. We love chatting to you afterwards. We like finding out what you thought was most interesting and what questions you have. What we do is absolutely ridiculous and fun, and it's so fun to be able to share it with you. Okay. We have been Shoot from the Hip. I've been Sam from Shoot from the Hip.
I've tried to be Sam from Shoot from the Hip.
Have a great week. Goodbye.
Bye.